Hello and welcome. This is Don Kryptonium, the channel that is focused on positivity, love, and crypto, and also transparency for the crypto community. So if you like this content, make sure to like and share this video because today we have some special subject. We are going to discuss validators, especially Cosmos Hub validators, and we are going to focus on top 20 validators. So this video might be a little bit longer, but this is education on what are these validators, what are their businesses, what is their story, and if you should delegate to them or maybe consider delegating to someone else. To ensure that this video is relatively fair, I'm going to use the guide on how to choose the validator so you can see this is overall recommendation and support of the decentralization on how to choose validator. So we have some of these points of why staking on exchange is bad. I'm going to tell you during this video why huge validator nodes are bad for network security. How do I know which validator to choose? I will try to educate you on that. And, well, this is focused on Polygon, but of course, we are going with the Cosmos Hub. As I said, top 20. We are going to start with the top 5 and see what businesses, ventures they do. Let's look at the mint scan first. So the few things you need to pay attention, you have the information here. The share of the validator, it means the voting power they have. So if you look at the top 5, the total voting power is 26%. It means if they would vote on the proposal, this take 26% of all voting. If they would vote yes, there's 26% of votes. And if there is many others who do not vote, this share is obviously higher. Participation might be confusing. It's important to participate, but it's also questionable if certain entities should participate or not. The uptime is, of course, a very important metric here. And then commission, so how much you pay when you delegate to the validator. So I'm starting with top 5. We are going to start with the Stakefish, which is largest validator not only in the Cosmos Hub, but also in the Cosmos ecosystem. So Stakefish is a large company. They are born from the company F2Pool, which was largest or one of the largest mining companies in Bitcoin and Ethereum. They were accused of manipulation. So you can Google F2Pool manipulation. This is the fact. They are a huge validator on Ethereum, securing over $1 billion of value. You cannot find the information on the team. They used to have it, but for some reason this is now hidden. And you can see the networks they are validating. Can they focus on one network? Can they do due diligence when choosing how to vote? You can also see how is it distributed. You have 5 million Atom delegated from the one wallet. So maybe we could assume that this wallet belongs to the Stakefish itself or some large fund, which is often the case with these large validators, that they are backed by the large fund. And they also have huge backing of the communities. You can see that they have 47,000 delegators delegating to the Stakefish. Important to say, there is hard to argue that you support the decentralization, delegating to them, you support them. Stakefish is a very wealthy company, and they surely don't need you to have huge power. They could buy it out anytime they want because they are very well funded. So they're active in the voting process, but as I said before, can they do due diligence? And it's very important to question, do they have any connections with others? We cannot verify that through the website. There is no team, of course. So now let's go to the number 2, which is Coinbase custody. And we have this point. So we covered the first point about large validator. Now the Coinbase custody is exchange validator. How the exchange validator operates, they usually run their nodes and this node manage their own funds, the investor funds, and also the community funds. You can see there is few large wallets. You can assume maybe one of these wallet belongs to some fund, and they delegate for this fund from the one wallet. One of that belongs to, or few of that belongs to Coinbase itself. And you can see there is substantially less, only just above 3,000 delegators. So you can see the Stakefish is considered to be more community focused. They have a lot of delegations, but Coinbase is not. It's exchange validator. A lot of these wallets is probably them. So how they operate? 20% fee if you delegate to them. So there will be 20% deducted from your delegation to them to pay them. Coinbase earn the same as others, over 20% APR, but via their services on their page, they pay around 7% only. So you can assume they make 60-70% maybe even now from their customers, and they sell 100% of the rewards. They do not participate, which is fair. You don't want a big exchange validator to be part of the governance. It's dangerous. If they vote, they could push their own bias, so it would be more controversial if they vote in comparison if they do not vote. So number 3, Dokia Capital. We could assume Dokia Capital is large investor in the Cosmos. You can see the largest wallet delegating to Dokia has over 8 million atoms. I don't know, but we could maybe assume that this is they own money. Number of delegators is not big, so they validate mainly for themselves. Very high fee if you delegate to them. Uptime at 99%. I try to learn what they are doing, but it's just venture capital. So they invest in the projects and they run their own nodes, right? So it's company, of course, wouldn't recommend delegating to large capital node. Because there is no benefit to you with the fees, there is no benefit to decentralization or anything. Validator number 4. So here we have the first validator that actually got born from the community and grew large. Huge number of delegators, right? Larger than is it larger? Yeah. Than Stakefish. You can see not really huge wallet. They have few big wallets, and they have very low commission, and that's how they were able to shoot up to the number 4. They used to have lower commission, so now it seems they going higher with this. Personally, I question some of the choices they make, but I noticed they actually listen to community. You know, they listen to the backlash on my channel. I even had the interview with the Tosh from SG1, who is co-founder. So, you know, despite the huge influence they have, and of course I would not recommend to delegate into the large validators. We can learn that it's not necessarily beneficial for the network. They are one of not many cases when more of the community-born validator grew to the really big position. Zero knowledge validator, huge fee. So I would say we have only one validator in top 5 that was born from community. So what the ZK validator is doing, they're also investor and they also fund the events, right? So from what I learned, they don't really do much below that. They secure over $100 million. You can learn about their work. So I learned they try to spread the word. They validate some networks, Celo, Polkadot, Moonbeam, Cosmos Hub. They do a lot of educational events, so this is like kudos for them. But once again, this is just the fund validator. You can see the investments, so they run the node mainly for themselves. You delegating to them, support the large company that has benefits, that has access to the seed funding, etc. So we are done with top 5. Let's see what's the next one. We have Binance Node, we have Polychain, we have Everstake, we have Game, and we have Paradigm. In this moment, I think it would be very important to go to some other networks. You know, a lot of these validators are on other networks. As I said, not only Cosmos, but a Mina protocol. This one is, what is this one? I don't even know. This is Solana, isn't it? Yeah, this is Solana. So when you go to many others, you can see that a lot of funds like Figment, P2P Validator, Everstake, ZK Validator are on all of the networks. That puts a question: how is the proof of stake really decentralized? You can see on Solana, Coinbase is the largest, also Binance, Everstake, P2P, A16Z, another fund, and many others. You don't really see small community-driven validators here. So let's go to the number 6 validator on our list, which is Binance Node. You can see they chose different strategy than Coinbase. Less delegators, and I want to say you shouldn't delegate to the community. But Binance also don't vote of the proposals. They know it would be controversial, so there is not much to say. But I noticed that also Binance support one of the community validators, such as StakeLab, delegating to them 2 million recently. So clearly, probably they own stake. I think from their own stake, they decided to delegate to someone else who do the work they appreciate. Number 7, Polychain. It's just a venture fund. So they run their own node. You can see large wallet at the first, same as with all centralized custodians. 20% fee. Obviously, wouldn't be recommended. You can see some people still delegate to them despite the high fee. Everstake. So let's see. Everstake is doing 5% fee. Seems fair. You can see huge number of delegators, more than SG1, so they could be more of the community driven. But Everstake, it appears just the validator with a lot of blockchains, right? So Everstake, you can see they're absolutely everywhere. So do you you delegating to them? Probably do not. You probably not support big delegation. They have huge impact. Tezos, Cosmos, Icon, Polkadot, Cardano, Near, Solana, Ethereum, Polygon, Mina, Axelar, Avalanche, active development. So is it what they also validate or maybe invested? Ignite, they will be part. Aptos, Sui, hard to recommend, but I think they try to develop good business. Then we have Game Validator. I should probably stay relatively objective. They delegate a lot to Don Kryptonium. They show support to Don Kryptonium. I would say this is an example of another community validator that shoot up. 20,000 delegators, very low fee. Similar case as in the case of SG1. Really, I believe most of that is they own wallets. I know like the game gets a lot of they own funds. When I look at how they vote, to be honest, I think they don't really put good due diligence to voting, and I think they are easily influenced by other decisions. So just to make it clear, I don't think you should delegate to top validators at all. Paradigm, no question, 100% commission. If you delegate to Paradigm, you get trapped. And I'm 100% sure among these delegators, there is a lot of people being trapped, and you earn nothing. These wallets, these largest wallets, belong probably to the Paradigm, but it's fair to put this fee because they make sure we don't need your delegations, okay? We don't want that, but despite that, some people still do this, I can't imagine these small wallets being Paradigm wallets. This is just silly people that are being trapped here. So we are at the top 10, and let's go for the 11, 12, and up to 20. This is truly much more interesting set, so we are going to look what they do and if you should support them. I can close them. Obviously, much more activity here. Figment, is most active venture fund, I think. Cosmostation, we have P2P Validator. Chorus One, Multi-Chain Ventures. Sika is not that active, and I think it's actually for the best. It's actually a good one. So let's start with Sika. And Sika, I think, is the venture started by Sunny Agrawal. That is correct. Really good. Like I always say good words about Sunny. Sunny is one of the greatest innovator to the Cosmos ecosystem. At the very young age, he's responsible for one of the most important chain in the Cosmos ecosystem, that is Osmosis. Without Osmosis, Cosmos would be nowhere near where is it now. That's important to say, that Osmosis gave a lot of utility to all Cosmos chains. So this is Sika. Should you delegate to them? Like, this is big validator. Why would you? But at least they I like them, despite that. But Figment, another venture capital, big wallets, a lot of delegations, but should you delegate to the big venture capital? Figment is one of the ones I really like. They have great investment and great portfolio. I respect what they do. Huge fan. Of course, I will not support the nodes of the Figment. You need to know that one thing about Figment and a lot of these other companies, they also provide infrastructure and run a lot of white label validators. You need to know that huge number, I don't know how much, I don't know if it's 50 validators or it's 80 validators, are actually white label validators whose infrastructure is run by the entities like Figment. So number 13, Cosmostation, huge contributor. At the number 13, we have the first validator that is actually active contributor to the Cosmos ecosystem. Mintscan that I'm using is developed by Cosmostation, and it's huge help to everyone using the Cosmos ecosystem. It's also developer of the Cosmostation wallet, second most popular. Quite high commission, that's probably some of their own wallets here. Community driven. I don't delegate to them, I wouldn't advise because they are big, but it's fair. They are great contributor to the ecosystem. That's all I would say here. P2P org, they try to get engaged in the Cosmos ecosystem. They are behind developing Neutron, actually. But so let's speak of this. Should you support P2P? P2P is huge company securing 700 million. They are behind Lido, liquid staking. They are supporting a lot of different chains. They do staking similar. So what P2P is doing, you can stake with P2P, right? You can delegate to them with 8% fee. They run a lot of probably white label nodes. How many in the Cosmos ecosystem is in the custody of P2P, right? So yeah, this is the products. They develop Neutron, Lido. They support Ethereum, Aptos, and a lot of this lead network. Hard to show the support. They are active in proposal, but that makes you question such a big fund with such a sway. Should they make the decision? Are they able to make good due diligence when it comes to decisions on the network? We have Binance staking, which is just a split of the node of the Binance. I believe it's not really good view if you have two nodes, but it doesn't make big difference on the network, when it comes to the voting power. Chorus One. Is it the fund? They provide the infrastructure and they run a lot of nodes, right? Look at this. How many? Do you support decentralization? Delegating to them? Probably not. What are their services? Products? What are the products? Come on. Nothing? Let's see about. No, investors. They're good guys. I actually met them in Prague. Very nice guys. So they're cool. High fee, I wouldn't delegate to them. Like, why would I? Multi-chain ventures, another validator that is absolutely everywhere, but low fee. You can see big wallet behind them. That's probably they own. Multi-chain ventures is investment company. So another investment company. Informal Systems is the company of Informal Systems and actually they both cephalopod, right? Like how you call them. This is Ethan Bookman, one of the co-founders of the Cosmos Hub. They do a lot of work and a lot of infrastructure actually. High fee. You can support them if you want, but it's still a big centralized organization, but they do a lot of work. So we have Cosmostations and Informal. The first one that are focused solely on the Cosmos, on the two validators in the top 18. Malaya with 0% fee, that's mainly probably they own. I never seen them really contributing. They just do validating at 0 fee, like hard to say anything. They try to gain the voting power maybe by this. They have they own stake. And also there is Pro Validator, 1% fee. Very low, very fair. Seems fairly decentralized, fairly community. They only do infrastructure, right? They also validate quite a lot of network. So in the top 20, funds, centralized custodians, and 2 validators that really focus on doing anything of significance on the Cosmos ecosystem. Of course, a lot of others provide infrastructure that is valuable. A lot of others are investors, but these are big funds. They have their own stake. I hope this video was helpful for you. Once again, share it. Let me know what you think about this video. Did you find this helpful? There's more validator videos coming. Don Kryptonium, leaving now, and of course, sending to you a lot of love. Till the next time. By the way, there's proposal. I'm seeking funding. I have a lot of podcasts and there is a lot of work. I'm seeking for 6,000 atoms to continue funding what I do, to create new channel with hundreds of the clips from my podcasts that will be great benefit for all ecosystem. These other projects will be able to use the clips of my channel in their own social media. There's great interviews with Sane Agrawal, Josh Lee, Zaki Manyan, Shane from Stargaze, absolutely top creators of the Cosmos ecosystem. So, Don Kryptonium's out. Till the next time.